Just lay right down. I'll tell you, children, I can lay right down.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Welcome to the Daily Study Group. Welcome to the Daily. Welcome to the Daily Study Group. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I hope my mic's been on the whole time. Otherwise, y'all are just watching me slowly draw for no reason. What's up, CJ? CJ, did you hear my idea? Oh, CJ, you're on the computer, right? Let me Skype you in real quick. If you're not on the computer, then I'm going to try to Skype you in and fail. Excuse me. CJ. Are you hard at work or hardly working? We'll see if he answers. People, if CJ doesn't answer, it means he doesn't care about you. Not me, you. Specifically you. Did you answer? Hello? Oh, hey, what's up? Let me throw you onto the chat real quick. Did you hear the idea for the Daily Study Group? Were you here for that?
I popped out because no one was talking. I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. So, I'll tell you the idea. I think you'll like it.
Okay.
So for me, I was just kind of telling myself that I recently, I just drew red on here because I had red. Damn it. Oh crap! What was I saying? I've noticed I'm posting more studies than I am actual like sketches and finished stuff. You know.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of like getting like, well, I need to like just do more work than have more work to show for myself. But but what I decided was I want to go ahead and do a piece like every week or 2 weeks. So like yesterday, instead of doing a study, I just started drawing this dude with no explanation. You know, I just started drawing this guy. And I figured, okay, I'll make him underwater dude. And then I stopped. And then, like, I was kind of wondering what exactly I was going to do from there. And, like, today I was even thinking, I guess I would work on him more. But it's not really a study. And if anyone's coming in to, like, study and kind of know that someone's doing studies the way we had planned, that they're kind of just like, oh, you just stopped. But what I want to do is base all the studies off a new piece every week or two. And so, like, all the studies I'm going to do have to deal with this piece. And then, ideally, by the end of the week or the 2 weeks, depending on how long it takes, all of this new piece that I've done slowly every morning, you know, like for an hour or two. So, after a series of like 5 studies, I have a finished piece to show. And like I think that's a much better way. Because if you think about how many weeks you've already done this, if we had done this from the beginning, we would have had like 6 pieces done by now? I think 6, maybe 5 pieces done. And it would have been like just slow working, like a couple hours every day. Maybe Saturday, like bust out the rest of it. But anyway,
Yeah.
so that's doing like a background, kind of just doing like a underwater cliffs, just to get an idea of like what I'm gonna put behind there. But actually, I'm about to stop, so I can actually put in the background. But not the study, but stopping, just like working on this thing.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
So anyway,
No, I
yeah.
like that. I like it.
It's still a way for us to do the studies, but then like if you're really working hard, you get like a portfolio piece at the end of it, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it's just like, oh, I'm actually gonna get something finished slowly. Like while you're working on your other stuff for either school or clients, you know that you're like procedurally working on this other piece every hour, like 1 hour every day.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, you'll get it done, and then you'll have this piece to show.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's kind of that's kind of been what I have been doing, sort of.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing heavy gestures and figure drawing lately, so like I've been really working on my character stuff, and I actually started sketching a character just out of the blue last night. I was I'm gonna participate in like kind of join in on my my challenge that I started up in on CG Hub, and I just ended up drawing some random character that I think I'm gonna try and take to a finish completed version. So, but
Sounds cool. Um, yeah, I just I was updating. I think it was like last week, and I was updating like the thread, and then I need to still do my I still haven't done my. I need to do my blog post for my site.
hmm
At this point, I've waited an entire week to do. Cause I normally do it every Friday, but it's already the next Friday.
oh yeah,
So I need to like update my site. But recently, I've only been able to show like
studies.
studies, and that's it. And it's like there's no sketches. There's nothing else I can really show. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm working on stuff. It's just for clients, and like it's not the same.
I was listening to an interview the other day too, and something I've noticed is how long I end up spending on pieces,
Yeah.
and I kind of want to try and avoid spending so long on them. Like I end up spending like 2 to 3 weeks sometimes on certain ones, and
Oh yeah.
it sometimes feels like it's just an unnecessary amount of time because I have completed pieces before in like a day or two before,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, so
No, that's a good point because I know I started working on. There was that Lich dude I started working on, and it ended up becoming like this, taking a week to do him kind of thing.
hmm
And I wasn't happy with the way it was looking, and I just kind of stopped. And then one day I busted out another guy within about 4 hours, but because I had worked on the first dude, it was kind of like he was my study for the real piece, you know.
yeah,
He had turned into like this, like me already kind of learning what I wanted to do with the pose and everything,
hmm
and it worked out where like I could knock the piece out in like I don't know, I think it was 6 or 8 hours. But the only reason I did it that fast is because I had already been thinking about it for so long.
hmm
Like really planning out the piece ahead of time, and then when it's time to really do it, it doesn't actually take that long. It's just a matter of doing the work.
yeah.
If you know exactly the pose, if you know exactly the colors and the composition already, and you've already thought about that, then it's just a matter of execution.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No, I understand that completely.
Yeah, because it was Mr. Jack, I think, is who they're interviewing. I don't know. Are you familiar with his work at all?
Mr. Jack?
Yeah, he
No,
does a lot
never.
of he works for Blizzard,
Okay.
and
It's just called
he,
Mr. Jack?
yeah, just Mr. Jack. I can't remember his actual name though, but that's how everyone remembers him.
Oh,
And
weird.
he was doing like a little bit of an interview, I think for Cynics,
Yeah.
and he was talking about how like he was doing like a painting for the interview, and he's like, yeah, I can't stand spending more than a day or a couple hours, and he's like, I don't see how people can sit there and spend weeks upon weeks on a painting. And then he kind of like it made me think, I'm like, I'm one of those people that spends weeks upon weeks on a painting,
Yeah.
and it's
Well, I mean, it depends though too. Like, if it's a huge battle scene and you're drawing like 20 characters fighting each other in a
oh
giant
yeah,
war,
yeah,
it would be understandable. But if it's like two characters you're spending weeks and you're like, oh, I need to like work on something to speed up my process, or sometimes it takes weeks because you didn't actually think about the idea fully and you're kind of like figuring things out on the go, and it
yeah,
takes longer.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it seems like sometimes I just get hung up on the piece itself, and I don't sit there and do like just like you said, don't think it out enough, and just go for it. And then I get to that point where I'm okay. Now I'm going to spend hours upon hours doing this one part of this piece that should have been done. I could
Yeah,
have gotten done in an hour.
it's like a thing where if you spend a week just planning it out, I mean, you probably normally only spend a day just actually doing it. If you
hmm
actually planned it out and like, if you knew there was going to be a pose that was going to be hard to tackle, and you went ahead and did studies the other day before and just knocked that out,
hmm
and then all of a sudden when it comes time to actually do the work, you're like, oh, okay, I already know this, and I already know. You can actually look back at your study, see what you've already done,
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
allergies are
I
terrible.
noticed it the other day because I did it with like a study I did. I ended up spending more than a day on it, and I
Yeah.
really don't want to do that with studies because then like I'm spending way too much time on it, and
Well, yeah. That's like the whole. I feel like that's exactly what I was. You spend a whole day on the study, but if you weren't actually using it for a piece, then you just spent a whole day doing the study and you didn't apply it to anything. And
hmm
then like if you have if we do this new thing, we plan out a piece and we're doing the studies with the piece. At least we know if we spent a whole day working on a study, we did it
hmm
for that piece, and at the end, there's a piece to show.
yeah, it'd be kind of cool, if like we both do like the same subject and just like uh kind of like say like one week we want to do like say some kind of like pick a theme.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that yesterday. Like doing maybe like everyone. Okay, like today, this week, or the next 2 weeks, we're all gonna work on designing a new orc, just like our own orc to redesign.
Yeah.
Like like Warcraft has orcs, and Warhammer has orcs, and Lord of the Rings has orcs, but they all have their own orcs. But like
Yeah.
something to take like an archetypal, a very basic fantasy thing, and like do your own version of it.
hmm
And like this is my orc, and how is yours different? How is like the look, everything, and then like put it into a
Yeah.
piece, or just keep it as like a turnaround if you're trying to go for more concept stuff.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool. Like I'm totally gonna start doing that. Like I haven't really gotten anything planned today for the study. Like I'm doing my gestures right now,
Yeah,
and which I'm almost into 1400 gestures now.
that's crazy. That's good though. I mean, like I should do some of that stuff just to like keep
Yeah.
brushed up on
Yeah.
the gestures. Always, well, they don't get me. It's like that. The proportions get me, but I end up just if I'm really working on it, I just noodle it around with it like transform tool until it looks right.
Yeah.
Um, but I'd like to be able to nail it without having to do the transform tool as much.
Yeah. Well, you see, that's kind of what I noticed last night when I was doodling my character that I came up with, my demon dude.
Yeah,
Like, I just made like a very generic pose with him, and as I was doing it, like I used the lasso tool little to like known at all, and I was pretty happy with how the pose came out too.
yeah,
Like I posted up on my Facebook last night too.
yeah. I
So
think I saw him. I need to. What I'll do is after I get off after we save out this, I'm gonna get offline in a second so I could save out this study group. But I'll either get back on or we can get in the Google Hangout and work from there.
yeah, that works.
But I need to go ahead and I'm gonna stop here. Even though this thing looks like nothing, I don't really care to. It's like these roots with like I don't know coral or something. But my main focus is the rocks and the depth, and I kind of got a good grasp on that, at least for what I want to do right
hmm
now. And then I need to figure out what exactly this guy's going to be doing now. So um, my general idea is that he's going to be like in front of some kind of creature, underwater cave. But I haven't actually thought about the composition too much at all. So
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I think after I'm done with my gestures, I'm gonna do something kind of underwater related and like start working on some kind of something similar. Like I
yeah,
think how we were saying, do like this week will be like underwater pieces or something like that.
yeah, okay, that'd be good. And then yeah, and there's a whole mess of stuff, and like, each day is dictated basically by like what you're having trouble on the piece. Like as far as the daily study group goes, like today was I'm doing underwater cliff because I got to look at how the rocks look in the actual piece, and
hmm
then beyond that, um, I got to figure out exactly what the hell the composition is going to be. So I got to do that probably later, probably
Yeah,
tomorrow. Figure out the composition.
it's fun though. Like I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, and it's more of like a focus on. You get more of a focus on like. No, I mean just knowing that you can like. You'll be able to finish something and like, oh, okay, I have this thing to show for all the work I've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but like I mean, the studies we were doing were helping me, but it wasn't. They were helping me, and like I know they helped me on like the vampire stuff I was doing, and like
Mm-hmm.
that was great. But the actual like the studies took over my my updates. I wasn't actually getting as much, like random stuff, like even just sketches, like just sketches of ideas to show people. Like I wasn't be able to,
Mm-hmm.
be able to post that, and it was kind of bothering me. I was like, well, I can't even show like the development of this character because I mean, I did studies. I didn't do a development of any character.
Yeah.
So I'm not working on any character right now, but
Mm-hmm.
now I'm working on this dude. So I'll probably go back in and explore his head and everything, actually, like how it functions and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
You
know what
see,
the hell. Yeah. What are
yeah.
you
I mean,
saying? Sorry.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I was doing kind of the same thing, and I finally decided it was like when I did that Lobo piece not too long ago, like a day or two ago. I was doing a bunch of heads and everything, and some portrait studies, and I figured I'd test out what I've learned,
Yeah.
and I redid an that old piece of mine. It was it wasn't actually 6 months. It was actually only 5 months ago, and like just the difference that just doing them studies just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's crazy how just little differences can be made, or little changes and improvements.
Yeah. That it helped out. Um, it's helped out a lot. And then I guess one of the other things I was realizing, like, whenever I actually do studies for a piece I'm working on, it's very
Hmm.
different from just doing like we're gonna do a still life. Like it's very targeted and it's very focused, and that's it. Like I just draw like for the bat, like I drew a bat's nose like 3 times over again, and that was like I wanted to just understand how the bat's nose looked. And
Hmm.
once I was done doing that, I drew like its teeth because I need to understand how the teeth look. But then it was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna stop and now I'm gonna work on the actual piece because I don't need it to like I don't need to draw a bat over and over again. I just need to draw that one area I had problem with.
Yeah.
And that's like how I normally do studies. I don't normally do a full like photo copy, and I think
Hmm.
that that's valid and it works. And I think that for me that helps out most whenever I have no idea what to work on, and I'm kind of like okay, I'm kind of getting like a artist block or something. Like I'll just do a copy then, just because it's like okay, I'd rather do this than do nothing.
Hmm.
I'd rather improve somewhat than like just not improve at all.
Yeah. See, my newest thing that I've been enjoying, like if I'm having kind of like a mental block or something, taking some really like, and when I say old pieces, I mean like years ago pieces, like
Yeah.
shit I was doing in high school that was just
Oh
fucking
wow.
awful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's really fun to do it because you get to see kind of how much improvement you've made since then. If you have any like super old pieces, it's like a kicking your old ass that just like man, I didn't understand anything back then, and it's like now you understand a little bit more in anatomy, or you know how to light a little bit better. Or,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just nice little reassurance, and then it kind of pumps you up a little bit more.
Yeah. That's what's hold on. Let me see if I can find this. Hello, this is Gabe. Oh, yeah, you're Gabe. Didn't hear anything until just now. Psycho time. Were you saying that there was just total silence for the first the first part of my stream?
I think there was because like when I came in, there's like I said, there's no one talking, so I was like, okay.
When did you come in? Just like a few minutes before you said hi?
Oh no, I was in like a good maybe 10, 15 minutes. I think I popped in when I saw you starting on your ocean.
But you didn't. I mean, you saw me type in client called.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You didn't hear that. But then did you hear me start talking? Oh shit! Damn it! You serious? God dang it! I was talking that whole time. I was explaining everything about this. Did you not hear anything about this?
No, not at all.
None of it. God damn it!
No.
I was like I would have gone so much faster if I had known no one was listening, and I could have just shut up and worked. But
Well, I thought it was weird. I was like, is this?
uh,
I thought it may have been something on my end, so I didn't
God
say
damn it,
anything.
Psycho Time. Sorry, everybody that was in there. I was talking the whole time I was doing this to try and explain stuff to everybody. I didn't say a word though to y'all because you didn't hear anything. God dang it. Well, I don't even know if I should save this now or like send it to YouTube, except for the show. Like, I mean, I'll do it anyway, but like, God dang it,
Just
it's
like
gonna be
put
a
a
silent feed.
disclaimer, like there's no sound from this
Oops.
point till this point.
I know. Well, yeah. Now there's no sound because I was an idiot, didn't turn up the mic. Uh, I was gonna show you. Hold on, let me open this up. I think I did this once before, but my concept art forum uh, sketchbook has some old digital stuff I did.
Hold on a
Like
second,
it's only a few years ago actually, but
Oh god, I hate the way concept art looks now. It's such an
it's
eyesore.
yeah. It's I wish it was a little darker, and just to like to rest your eyes a bit.
Yeah, well, the sepia tone that they had, or like that really tan look that was there,
Yeah,
it worked. Like it was nice. It was easy on the eyes.
they should make it gray, like GG Hub. But
Uh,
like I mean, gray. I prefer looking at that gray tone than tan,
I think it
personally.
makes all the pictures kind of pop out a little bit more too. Like grabs your attention.
Let's see here. Let me go back and
But I'm biased on that is as far as I go on discussing the differences between CG Hub and concept art because I don't want to get myself in trouble.
yeah. I need to update this stuff. Like it's just like I don't really do anything on here anymore as far as like sketchbook's concerned. I just use Crimson Daggers, and I really don't do the Crimson Dagger sketchbook either. I do like I post stuff on my website. I don't really. I
Yeah.
should post more stuff, but I mean the most I post is with the Daily Study group, and
Yeah.
that's like here's like some of the early digital stuff in 2012, 2 years ago now. This is a cave I did,
Oh, nice.
and then like these were some bats I did, messing around with brushes, and like there was actual stuff. This is some design I designed it for my old job. Uh, I did this in 2011 actually, but that was the mask we made. But then more bat creatures, 2012. Some really derpy looking stuff from 2011, 2012. It's all I had like a day job, so I wasn't really like, concerned with like really improving.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's really weird. Like, cause I specifically did more bats recently from with all the vampire stuff,
Yeah.
and I don't know, I just like I thought this was really cool looking when I first made it. I remember thinking, oh, this is pretty cool. Like, I did a pretty good job on this. I'm like,
Yeah.
not at all. Like, it's just this cave. I remember like being really proud of this cave. I was like, this is like concept art. It's like got some textures and shit. I'm like,
Mm.
um, it's so hard to see what really is going on because I didn't actually look at cave pictures. I just like arbitrarily made this.
Man, yeah, it's funny. Like that demon that I made yesterday. I it's kind of like a redo of an old piece that I did,
Yeah.
an old character concept. Like I think I'm sharing my screen on the Skype, but like this one was back from oh god, uh 2009.
It's not opening it. Where do I find Skype? Hold on. I'm trying to get the bigger. Here we
Uh,
go. Here we go, people. This is CJ Marsh's old
back
stuff.
yeah, but yeah, that was back in 2009. I did that one,
Yeah.
and then I decided after doing a few steps. This is back right when the Crimson Daggers first started when I did this.
Oh, okay.
So it was funny because I was doing all the studies and I did this, and I actually sent this in to Dave asking some feedback, like on my
Yeah.
character stuff, and he gave me a full paint over of it, which I don't have anymore, which is kind of shitty. So then, I did some more studies and everything, and then I ended up redoing this piece, and I did it like this,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's still pretty bad. And that was like a few months after studies and stuff like that, and I guess it just didn't really take. And then here's what I did yesterday, kind of the same idea, essentially.
Yeah. And it's just like, but you spend like a lot less time on this too.
Oh yeah, like
Like,
definitely.
just this little sketch, and it's a better pose. He's more grounded. His armor's looking a little more together.
Yeah, not just a clump.
Um. Oh, this is the other part. I don't know if I said this part. So, with the idea that we're going to be working on a piece for the daily study group, and you only work on it for a couple hours each day.
Hmm.
On Sunday, instead of doing the critiques and paintovers of other people's work, everyone in the daily study group, we critique everyone else's work, each other's work. Not just me and you critiquing other people, but also other people giving us feedback. And it
Okay.
becomes like it's a guaranteed way to get feedback on the piece, and you're working on it hard, and you're doing studies, and then Sunday is our critique day, but it's for all of us to critique each other, and maybe we'll get in on like maybe we'll do it in a Google Hangout where everyone kind of like talk about it and really like say something. Um,
Yeah.
Otherwise, we could still do it in the stream, and people could just join the chat and talk. But like Marjorie could join in, and
Yeah.
Trevor, and who's the
Uh,
other person that's doing lots of stuff in the
could do Russell
Russell?
Helix.
Yeah, Russell Helix, and all of us. Like we have a piece we're working on. We're doing the studies for the piece, and then Sunday is our day to like guaranteed day of feedback. Like that even if you don't. Oh shit! Just scratched my Wacom tablet. Even if you know that you're you can't make it to like the stream, you know that someone will critique the work as long as you post it in like the forum
Yeah.
before that time or something.
Yeah. Yeah, actually a really good idea. Like Sunday, you have to post whatever you have.
Yeah, and it doesn't.
Like,
By then you'll have had a week of work slowly on it. And some people have less or more time. Like some people that aren't. If you're just doing like schoolwork or something, and you're done with schoolwork, and you just if all you're working on is just this in your spare time, then they'll have a lot more done than like me, and I'm just doing it like an hour every day, you know.
hmm.
And then I gotta stop and do other work, unless I get to where I'm not busy or something. But I also have
Yeah.
other projects I want to work on, so it's like, I just scratched the shit out of my Wacom tablet. Well, not, I mean, it's not a lot, but like it's big considering there's no other scratches on it.
Oh,
I used the pin scratched it, which is annoying. The pin scratched the tablet.
is it
Whatever.
working?
No, it's fine. It's just this one little scratch, but like the eraser somehow scratched it. I don't know how the eraser did it,
Huh.
but somehow the eraser just scratched it. Anyway, whatever. Um, yeah, but yeah, that would be like it's like a guaranteed
Yeah, it's like
day of
a lemon
feedback, and
squeeze,
yeah,
basically. Yeah. Just everyone kind of like critiques everything that's going on and
um,
gives the good feedback.
and then we get like this. You know that not only are you getting studies done and you have this piece to show for it later, but there's also like guaranteed. There's a group of people that are out there that are going to help you out along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And 'cause lots of people like on the Crimson Daggers whenever I do the critiques and paintovers, I try and find the people that haven't gotten any feedback yet. Sometimes it's
Mm-hmm.
because they posted that day. Sometimes it's because like no one knows what to say, I guess.
Yeah.
So I always try to find those people to give them feedback. But like sometimes you put your work out there, no one no one gives you feedback. They just don't know what to say sometimes.
Yeah.
But you know,
It's also the beauty of the hangouts too.
Yeah, the hangouts are great. That's like instant. Like as
You're
you're
like,
working, people are like, looks cool, or like that looks weird. You know,
yeah,
it's just like immediate.
like hey, you're doing something wrong. Oh shit.
Or they're like,
Or and something too. I was joking about it the other day when I did my Lobo. Don't ever say you're finished on a piece when you're inside of a hangout,
yeah,
because then someone's gonna be like, okay, well, I mean, it's a great thing to do, honestly. I mean, in all honesty, like whenever you're done with the piece and someone like, hey, uh, no, you're not, and points something out that you either didn't do or something that could have been improved upon,
yeah.
like it's great.
Who said that?
Um,
Do you remember?
well, I finished one of mine, and then I had a couple of the guys. They told me they're like, "Hey, it wasn't finished," and or there's like something that I could have fixed, and I did it,
Yeah.
which is great.
Um, yeah, just the way you said that just now reminded me of Dan DeSalt. Like, no, you're not. Like, the way he's
He
told
hasn't
me
been on
before.
in a while, actually.
Oh yeah. Huh.
Yeah, I don't know where he. I think from
Busy
what
doing
everyone
some
was
work.
saying, he's been like super busy.
Yeah. Yeah. I've gotten freelance stuff. I actually got a call when I get off here. I got to make a phone call. Probably make some coffee. Then I'll join the hangouts and work in there. But I need to I need to call one of these guys I used to work with. They're looking to get some like a poster thing done. I got to figure out if they want to meet next week or what. And then otherwise, I got to send out my portfolio today because some of my freelance stuff's wrapping up now this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I'm getting a lot more comfortable with my work, and I got to try and create a portfolio come August, so I can have one. Well, I mean, I got a portfolio. I just want to get
Yeah.
it completely improved upon and looking nice and pretty from when I go to Gen Con.
Oh,
And
that's right. You're going to Gen Con. Yeah. Tell me how that is.
oh god, I'm super excited for it.
Um, yeah, that's Gen Con. What am I doing here? A bunch of people. The sketch group I go to every Wednesday here in Austin. We're doing kind of the same thing as a daily study group in a way, where we're all going to start working on some pieces, and every Wednesday, along with the sketch night, we're going to kind of critique each other's pieces a bit, well, and then we're going to do this for like the rest of the year, and then the next time the Spectrum comes around, we're going to all submit having all this
Oh yeah.
critique and feedback, and like, I think by then we all need to have at least like, at least 3 to 4 pieces done that we're like ready to send.
Hmm.
And then we'll also have like this weekly feedback, like a little salon session, where like we're all meeting up, like a salon in the traditional sense, not like a hair salon, like a
Hmm.
salon like artists meet up and talk about their work and show their work to people,
Yeah.
other artists, and then like kind of create that atmosphere. Anyway, if anyone here is ever in Austin, that's kind of what we're going to be doing. If you ever want to message me, let me know if you're going to come to South by or whatever, or anything really.
I really
See
want
how.
to come visit Austin around October when they have that. You said it was October that they're having the Austin Con?
I think it's November.
Oh.
I don't
Oh,
know.
that's
I
even
gotta
better.
check. It's like sometime then, October or November. Um, where's my window? Oh,
Oh
here it
man.
is.
I stumbled when you were talking about your concept art uh, sketchbook. I stumbled upon mine, and
Uh,
holy crap, it's bad.
it's just bad.
It's really bad. Oh, oh yeah, that's when I learned one of the hardest things to ever paint in a still life. At least it was for me. Spoons,
Spoons.
metal spoons.
Oh yeah, spoons are pretty. Yeah, they got weird curves, and in the perspective, it's hard to tell what they're doing unless you have all the right lighting.
Hmm.
You know, like Gotta adjust this real quick. I'm gonna put his head right here in this dot, this intersection. Might be widening it too much though, I feel like. Maybe not. Okay. That's doing those comp breakdowns of the classical paintings.
Yeah.
That thing helped out a lot better than some of the movie still stuff I've done.
Hmm.
Because each painting is like way more going on in that one image than the movie still does. A movie still has like there's key images that like have things going on, but like that one, those ones I need to finish them actually, but those ones I was doing like basically what I could see was that everyone always talks about the rule of thirds and like the golden spiral and all those other things. They're always there's all these different ways you could do composition,
Yeah.
but in those pieces of like masterworks and whatever else they all have like three or four or two or three to four layers of composition going on. And that's like a big difference between like the beginner stuff and like someone that's an experienced like illustrator. It's like you don't just work with one and say, "Oh, I'm done. I got rule of thirds. Good." Like you're like rule of thirds, okay, but then also this, but then also this, but then also this,
Yeah.
and that's like the important thing that you got to include. And
And then you
even
see
like
it all together.
yeah, and then like I listened to freelance talks with Dave and Dan again recently, but I listened to the second one where he's talking to Sam Carr and Miles Johnston,
Hmm.
and Dan Warren breaks down some of his composition. He did like the Jungle Book drawings he did,
Yeah.
and that's another where like he's layered everything. The composition, like it's not just big shapes. It's like each one has a shape, but then each shape has another shape that's like strengthening the shape. So it's like, oh, he's a triangle, but then the chair has another triangle, but then these monkeys create a circle around the two triangles, and like everything's like counterbalanced in such a way that it's never just that one thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I never even really thought about it like that. Like, to be honest, I didn't even really think multiple.
That's like the big difference. That's like, yeah, that's exactly because I didn't do it. Like I knew there was multiple things going on in different pieces, and then like when I've given people paint overs, I've told people like you could do this, and then you can also make it do this, and this can also like it could end up all matching up really well. And I just never thought about it, with myself, my own stuff. So like just now, like let me erase this dude real quick, or let me not erase him, but let me hide him. I just now brought this. I widened the piece out so that he lines up with one of the medians in the rule of thirds, and then like
Hmm.
beyond this now I need to focus on like okay, so that's one composition layer done, and this shape I've created is a diagonal because I want to kind of give it some more dynamic feel. I might tilt the whole thing though more, but and
Hmm.
then I think some kind of danger is going to be like here, whether it's a creature or like some dude or like a robot coming towards them or something. Like
Yeah.
just something's going to be coming out towards him, and then his like vision is going to be pointing down into that thing. That thing's going to be pointing back to him, and then like the lightest part of the canvas isn't around his head, and little things, and then like I'm going to probably put some coral bits or whatever that'll be pointing towards him, like that mermaid piece we did
Yeah.
on the weekend, or the first mermaid, not the second one. But then, that's like I gotta start thinking exactly. And then there's some other thing. Let me see. If I make a square on this, I'm gonna make this a square. Okay, so there's a way of there's a compositional rule like you can kind of play with where like lots of great work, lots of just good works. You can see that square I just made. Let me maybe make it multiply.
Hmm.
lots of rectangular works have this square, and then they have the not square. And this, he's kind of actually already on it, because the rule of thirds kind of applies with this rule. Because I moved the canvas out and I lined his head up with that median, it's right here now. I kind of by default, he's now lined up in this rectangular portion of the canvas that's not part of the main square. You see how now he's in this section, the square is kind of its own. So I could put something else here, and then we've got this foreground subject and the dude in this one part, and this next part of the canvas is empty. So it's like we're balancing it out that way. But that kind of unintentionally happened because those rules, normally the rules line up in a way where like you're already, like if I go to the triangle composition and click here, in a way he's like, the majority of him is in this top triangle. So like we got a good subject here, and if I were to put the enemy down here in this bottom triangle, we got the two triangles counterbalancing each other.
Yeah.
And anyway, but they kind of already match up. Golden spiral, I can't flip it, but if you were to flip the golden spiral, the opposite, it would be lining up in his head right now. If it were coming in from this side and curling back over, it would land in his head. Because the golden spiral and the rule of thirds normally match up. This diagonal thing seems to match up too. Anyway, it's
hi Jungle Pants. Welcome to the Miguel stream.
Jungle Pants. Don't crap. Okay. Don't crap me, Jungle. Don't crap. Don't crap me, bro.
Those see those grids? That's in your crop tool, actually.
Oh, is he talking?
Yeah. Someone's asking.
It's in the crop tool.
Zia Gabe, yeah.
If you have like CS 5, 6, it's in the crop tool.
I usually keep it on golden ratio, but when you click on your crop tool, it says golden ratio and it has a drop down arrow. Then you can go rule of thirds, grid, diagonal, triangle, golden ratio, golden spiral, and then it says auto show overlay, always show overlay, never show overlay. Yeah, you can change it to what you want. So
I gotta think of what creature is gonna be down here. So that'll be another thing I could do in the study next, like tomorrow. Figure out the creature, and then like from that creature, got to do a study of that creature. A creature, maybe a robot or something. I feel like a robot would be cool.
that'd be cool. Could give some really cool lighting too.
Maybe like that or something. I don't know.
And robots put lights on or something on it, and have them like a spotlight.
Yeah.
Could even cast a pretty cool light on your main guy there and make him pop out even more.
Yeah, I think that might be a good way to do it. Have a... Anyway, I'll save this for now. I'm gonna go ahead and save the stream real quick, and then I'll probably get back on. I gotta run to the bathroom and make some coffee real quick.
Okay.
But thank you guys, Pirate in Love. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, no problem.
No problem, man. Hopefully you understood some of our ramblings.
Yeah, sorry for everyone that was just watching a completely silent live stream with no talking and nothing going on until later. But I thought I was talking. I thought you heard me, because I did talk the whole time. There was I said a lot of stuff. I was like, yeah, you just got to get this basic shape, and like, or like, this is what I'm thinking about right now, and this is what I'm thinking about right now. I'm like, I just sound like an idiot now. Not like an idiot, just I feel dumb.
You're talking to hear yourself talk.
Yeah, I guess. What's the day? Daily study group. 49. Oh, it's 47, 48. We're 49.
Holy shit.
49. It's the 49th daily study group. If you've been following along, tomorrow is 50. 50 studies.
Why he was... Oh, yeah. The reason he didn't have any sound was because he was muted.
I thought I was talking. I didn't mean to not have any sound.
Yeah.
that's the issue. Is that I thought y'all heard me, and
They're
yeah.
asking if we got anything special for number 50.
I didn't think about it like that. I just was
Yeah.
gonna work more on this dude, but
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
if you kind of think about it, I guess since we're starting this new, we're gonna pick a subject. I
Yeah,
guess.
it's a whole other way of doing it.
Yeah. So I guess that's
Um,
special for 50.
so I'll explain it real quick now that people are here again. And if you've heard it over a couple times, then if you heard it a couple times, then I'm sorry, but you'll hear it one more time. But if you have been listening to me the entire time when my mic was muted, I would have actually been saying this multiple times. So, um, but no one heard that part. Let me just put my name on here real quick. I gotta sign my paper. Sign my paper. Put your name at the bottom. Put your name at the top. Put the date. Okay, so we're doing a new format for the daily study group. CJ and I like it, and I think y'all will too. If you're really joining in and doing it, if you're actually listening to us in any way, you might be like, "Oh, cool! This is gonna sound cool." So instead of just doing arbitrary studies, which is kind of what I felt like I've been doing, like saying, "Okay, still life today, photo study today, cast drawing today," it's just, God dang it! Hold on, just a piece of crap. Instead of just doing those studies, we're going to start basing all of our studies on a piece that we're going to work on during the week.
Like
So,
a
like
theme.
a theme, basically. And like yesterday, instead of doing a study, I started drawing this dude who I ended up turning into like an underwater robot diver guy. And I don't know what he is yet, but part of the thing is every morning, instead of just doing a study, I'm going to be working on this piece. And as I work on the piece, I'm going to have to do studies to kind of understand what's going on in the piece. So because he's underwater, today I decided that I'm going to do a study of a underwater cliff thing. And the only reason I did the study today is so I can understand greater how these rocks are going to look when I go in there and detail them. And basically every morning we work on this piece for like an hour, 2 hours. If you don't understand something, you stop, go and do a study, go back to the piece. And after a week or two, you've got not only a bunch of studies done that you did every morning, but you have a finished piece to show for it. And we were doing critiques and paint overs every Sunday. And Gabe, you got to see how that was. If we're all working on these pieces, we actually can critique each other's pieces during the week. So every Sunday, we all meet up and be like, okay, here's our piece we've been working on. Here's how far I got. Let me know some feedback now before I get too far along. Or even if we're done, it'd be like, I think I'm done. What do y'all think? We'll get a bunch of feedback, apply the feedback, and come back and work on it during that week. And then basically, once we're done with this piece, we'll go on to another idea, another theme. Whether it's redesigning something or showing a scene. It's kind of like, it's almost like the blood sports at Crimson Daggers, except we're all working together at the same pace, and there's no real deadline. Like, it's kind of like if I get this done sooner and y'all don't, it's okay. You don't have to like catch up with me or anything.
Yeah. But you're reaping all the benefits too that doing those kind of blood sport challenges would do. Make you improve and think a little bit more on what you're working on.
So that's the new format. For me, you don't have to do it at all, but just for me, the new format is to like work on a piece and have my studies focus on the piece, even if like this is a separate piece from my normal work and it's a separate piece from my client work. It's just a different set of work I could do that I know I'm developing and getting extra stuff done. And then that's how we're going to celebrate the 50 daily study group. We're going to reformat the whole thing
Yeah.
and try out this new method. And I think it'll be a lot more fun because everyone's like, you're working on a study that's going to go directly into a piece that you're working on. And at the end of it, you're like, okay, I did this cool dragon piece on a mountain or something. And now it's like, oh, sweet. I saw how you did that study of the mountain. I saw how you did that study of an alligator and some lizards, and then I saw how you combined that with like a bat wing study you did, and you designed this dragon, and you've got this mountain you did, and like you looked at a sunset and you did a sunset, and it all came together in this one piece. And then on Sunday you'd be like, let me know what you think, and we'd be like, it looks great, but this lighting is off, this thing is off. You could fix it this way, or strengthen the composition that way. And in the end, it all comes back full circle, and we all have these really nice pieces that we've worked on together.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all just the morning stuff, so you only do it in the morning, and once you're done, that's it. You're done. And then like go on about your day and do your other stuff. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, Jungle Pants. Yeah, just go ahead and put it into the Daggers study group. That's what we're just gonna do it all there. And I don't see why we'd like the need to really start another thread or anything. Just
yeah,
makes it one more place that everyone has to submit
we'll
stuff.
we'll keep. I updated this lesson plan. Let me just throw it in there real quick. Oh wait, no, I gotta share it a certain way. Nope, share. I'll share the lesson plan if anyone hasn't seen this. But close that. Where's the chat? Here we go. I'll share that. If anyone hasn't seen it, there it is. If you've seen it, there it is again. And the daily study group thread, it's typically the one at the top because everyone updates on daily. So it's always people are always throwing stuff in there all the time. So crap. Yeah, so that's that's what's going on. Yeah, and we'll start posting up like the piece, and then just describe what you're working on. Because like right now, I would put down like, okay, oh, I closed it. I would say something like, okay, I'm gonna start working on this underwater scene. I designed this robot guy who I'd like to have a featured character. He's gonna be a featured character in the scene, and it's gonna be underwater. He's gonna be like finding this creature. That's like the main idea, or like he's finding a bad guy. And that's the gist of it. So from there, I'm gonna work up the story more, and like not just the story, but the actual rendering and everything. And I'd post that up there, and then I'd start posting my studies. It'd be like, I didn't really understand underwater cliff, so here's an underwater cliff study. And then I need to understand atmosphere underwater, so here's a couple quick works of like underwater atmosphere. And I studied some fish because I wanted the thing to be a fish creature, or I studied some not robots. I studied I could study some robots from like Boston Dynamics and like design the parts of this dude and make them look more realistic.
You even take some parts from like submarines.
Yeah, submarines and stuff.
One-man subs or remote control subs.
Actually, maybe I should do that. Maybe we should make it a submarine. Like he stumbled upon a submarine thing.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But anyway, that's going to be how we do things, and then like I'll be talking on the stream every other day probably or so. It just depends. Honestly, it depends on how early I get up, if people are at the house or not at the house, if someone's watching a movie or something. That's like, it's real mundane, practical stuff. If it's hard for me to talk without people talking over or something, then I won't talk on the thing. But anyway.
Yeah, I think I'll start doing some more streaming too for when like working on the personal piece. I think I'll be streaming that when I do those. I think.
Yeah. Hold on.
I can't stream studies.
Yeah. I'm going to close this real quick. And I'm gonna that way it saves. I'll come back on.